Welcome to another episode of the AstraZeneca Women in Tech series. I'm your host, Ben Benson, and today I'm joined by Deepti Gupta from our R&D IT team based in Cambridge, UK. Deepti, welcome to the series. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much, Ben, and thanks for having me here.
Excellent. Well, I'm grateful for you being here. I know we've spoken a lot over the last couple of years. It's really good to get you on this series. So to start, maybe could you just share a little bit about what it is that you do and about the team that you work within?
Sure. I am a service excellence and transformation lead aligned to R&D IT's service management team. And my primary role is to run a transformation program within service, the purpose of which is to transform and modernize the way we deliver services to the business. Primarily around, for example, how do we manage technical debt within R&D IT, how we increase productivity and bring continuous improvement through automation, or be it make systems available through proactive monitoring by modernizing, bringing in some modern tools. And another aspect is how can I bring in some sustainable processes, the way we manage our licenses, which run in millions, by the way. And another project that I'm running right now is around introducing or implementing Lean Six Sigma principles within R&D IT, and which covers the entire R&D IT, which is around 650 people. So that's in a nutshell my role.
Excellent. Thank you for that summary. And it sounds like you've got a huge role with so many things you do. I mean, I don't know how you stay focused, but what's the most enjoyable aspect of what you do? Even though it sounds like it's very complicated, hugely busy, do you still enjoy it?
Oh, absolutely, I enjoy it. And I think I would put it down to a couple of things. One is my role allows me to interact with a number of stakeholders, be it the LT, be it the individual contributors, and at all levels. And I really enjoy that part because it allows me or helps me to sharpen my communication and engagement skills. The other part is that it is global interaction, because people are in AstraZeneca, as you know, we are a global company, and I interact with people across regions, be it US, Sweden, India, people here in UK. And that's so enjoyable because then I get to know people from different countries, different cultures. And, we sometimes end up becoming friends, even though, I would never end up meeting with them in person, maybe ever. But it's so interesting to know them and to interact with them. And the last part I would say is that, I run several projects, as I mentioned, around several themes. Now, when we deliver something really significant or something meaningful, the sense of enjoyment, the sense of achievement and satisfaction, I think that's really, really satisfying and enjoyable as well at the same time. So I would say these three things really make my role really interesting and enjoyable.
Excellent. So this is my favorite part of the interview, taking you back to when you were growing up. What did you want to be? Was technology at the forefront of where you saw your career going?
Not at all. Not at all. When I was, to be honest, I don't even remember what I wanted to become when I was growing up. I'm sure it changed ever so often. But when I was in university, I joined a radio station as a presenter, and I enjoyed it really. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was doing at that time, recorded programs or live shows. There were, some very interesting stuff, some very fun things, or sometimes very serious things as well. Sometimes it would be about analysis, debate, or interviewing some prominent personalities. It was hugely enjoyable, but it was a hobby, and it didn't pay very well at that time in India. FM was evolving at that time, and there was a serious, revolution around the media industry. It was going on at that time. But, and I considered journalism to be as as a serious career option. But as I said, it didn't pay very well. So I was actually thinking of having a serious career. And computers were evolving at the same time. And it was a huge buzzword in India at that time. And I thought it's a perfect match. And to be honest, my parents also encouraged me to, they always wanted me to go into tech. It's just me who moved into, who started thinking about journalism and media and so on and so forth, but they always wanted me to get into tech as well. So that's how, I thought it's a perfect match. I'm looking for a interesting and something very, something enjoyable career option, and computers came along as well. And I thought that led me, to my career in technology.
Excellent. And you touched upon it, but which some people won't know, but you actually grew up, you were born in India, grew up in India, and moved over to the UK. What was it like growing up in India as a young woman venturing to the technology world?
When I was growing up, India was in a phase when, education and career was becoming important for women. And so there were basically two sections of, I could divide the country in reference to women. One where education was important, but career wasn't. And the second group was where education was important as well as the career, right? And I was fortunate to be in the second group because, to be honest, I have to thank my parents for it, because they always wanted equal opportunities for me. So they not only gave me, wanted equal opportunities for me, but also gave me those various options, various opportunities to get into, make a career for myself. But even when for women, career was important, tech wasn't always a career of choice. And that's something that I saw evolving over a period of time. So when I took up, obviously, computers as my career. And when I completed my degree and I started working, it was very obvious that, the women were not in the leadership position. There was very few were there who were in leadership positions, or within IT industry I'm talking about. And it was interesting. Why? Because I really hoped that I would find loads of women in the tech world, as well as, having some prominent positions in the industry. But that wasn't the case. We were talking, and I'm talking about 15 to 20 years ago. But you know what? I think we are still talking about it. The same topic, 15, 20 years down the line, we are still talking about it, where we would really like women to have some prominent positions in the industry. It's not that we do not have women in those positions, but still, in the tech world, I think it's a space to evolve.
Yeah.
But sorry, go on.
Sorry, I was going to say, I completely agree.
Yeah. So, and then my move from India to UK, I think I came, it so happened that I got an opportunity for the company I was working for at that time to come to UK and work for British Airways. And that's how I moved here. And obviously, there's a bit of a contrast between what happened in India and what's here in UK. Having said that, I've seen a drastic change in the Indian landscape in terms of women making their career in tech. I see number of women making their career, but I still believe that I think they get into the into computers, into tech world, but they still we have a way to go to get them to those prominent positions.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, completely agree with that. And hopefully, we're playing our part in helping that, and in changing that narrative. And you certainly are, anyway. And I wanted to touch now on your background, and I hope I don't embarrass you by saying that you are very successful. You are very respected, certainly within AstraZeneca, that I know. What do you put down to the success you've had in your career to date? You've still got much more to come, I'm sure.
Much more to go, but I have spent over 2 decades in the industry, of course. I started my career as a, you would be amazed. I started my career in tech and computers as a software trainer. Yeah, and over a period of time, I moved on to become a developer, then into support operations, then into business analysis, and then service delivery and operations. So, in fact, what I have done is I have done several roles within the, to touch upon all the phases of software development lifecycle. I think it makes me a well-rounded professional who has got knowledge and experience around all the phases of software development lifecycle. And apart from that, I've worked so far in my career, 5 organizations, work with them, and all in different domains, with be it airlines or media, NHS, oil and gas, and now with pharmaceutical. I think that makes it hugely interesting. And then me playing, different roles, or had different kinds of roles across software development life cycles in all these domains. I think that gave me a lot of, I would say, experience and knowledge and how to apply IT over different domains. I think that made me, I think I would say, whatever little successful I am, or I believe I am successful, I think I would put it down to that. I think it's really important to understand the various phases of software development lifecycle. I think it makes you a really well-rounded IT professional.
Great, and I agree, because I think having that breadth of experience and understanding what, because technology is huge. The IT world is vast, and even I have worked in technology from a recruitment perspective for 10 years. Still don't completely understand it, because it's expanding so rapidly. There's so many intricate parts to everything, but having that broad awareness, exposure, it gives you an advantage. You understand how things work and the challenges, and and that brings me to the last question, which is, Deepti, what more do you think that we could be doing? And I say this as a society, rather than just you and me. But what more we could be doing to support greater female representation within technology?
I think I touched upon this point earlier, Ben, that 20 years ago, for example, when I was studying and when I was getting in, starting to work, I could see that there were very less women in tech, and then even though they were in tech, there were very less leadership positions where women were. I think we were talking about it 20 years ago, and sadly, we are still talking about it, isn't it? I think it is, I would be far happier if we stop talking about this, to be honest, and take some action and make sure that we allow women to reach to the potential that they really can. And I think it's all about how we play diversity and inclusion. We talk about it, but then we have to be serious about it. I mean, I'm talking as the world as a whole, that we should be really thinking about, just not talk about diversity and inclusion, but really implement it. And I think we should stop stereotyping women into, only some kind of roles. I think that should change. That narrative should change. I would say that let's stop talking about it and let's get on with the actions that we need to take as a society, in the world. And I think I've seen AZ. AZ has been a great place to work, where I could see loads of women who are in prominent positions. Let's talk about Cindy, Anna, Paula, you name it. There's so many women in AstraZeneca. I think AstraZeneca as a company has done really well in this area, and I want to take some serious actions around it. And I would say give women the due positions, or due credit, what they really deserve. And I think it's also for women as well. I would say, don't get, don't wait for anybody. Make your place. Do not be intimidated by this. Just make a place for you.
Excellent. Thank you for that. And that's brilliant. I think you've given some really strong advice there. And I guess I echo the part that we can do all this talking, but it is, yeah, actions speak louder than words. And I know we've done a lot in AstraZeneca. We continue to do a lot, and I'm certainly passionate, and I know you are, Deepti, about doing what we can, and hopefully by leading an example, other companies, other societies will start to follow, and eventually it will be a thing of the past. That's the hope.
Fingers crossed. I think we are certainly going in that direction. The only thing I would say is that the pace had been a little slow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have been thinking about it. I mean, the thoughts that I had 20 years ago, if I still have those thoughts, then definitely we are moving at a slower pace.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, great. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. So Deepti, thank you so much for coming on the show, and for giving me time, and giving me lots of content there as well, which is brilliant. And it's been great to have you on.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Oh, good. And to the viewers, thanks again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the session. If you have, please give us a like and share. And if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the series for all the latest episodes. We have more coming. But in the meantime, please do take care, and we'll see you in a few weeks. Bye-bye.